Okay, so I just kind of decided to post another one. This one. Oh. So, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Um, this is Tina Barr, Chapter 10, Closed Doors. Summary. When one door opens, a depressed team closes back up again. Warnings, description of anxiety slash depression, references to Inko's treatment of Izuku, and the aftermath that All Might leaves in his wake. Shota had come to the conclusion that Midoriya tried to hide things with a smile, or simply kept up the image to stop others from getting involved. In a way, he's like Shota, but instead with a smile. Shota had a blank face. He knew how ingrained portraying a certain face to the outside world was. He knew the implications of the smile that Midoriya was giving them at the moment. It it was tired and a little sad, but it was the most real thing he had seen since um, standing with Midoriya that morning in front of the door, in front of the logically big door. Shota was glad that he didn't make Uraraka or Kaminari leave the infirmary, because from the looks of Midoriya's eyes as the child looked at the two, the look of something that the, the look of something that looked like wonder let him know that he was right in his right. He made the right decision, and he knew that he had made the right decision of himself staying, because when Midoriya looked at him, the smile didn't go away. The smile looked a um, wonder stayed. "Hey there, Midoriya," he said, in a softer voice than usual. "How you feeling? Recovery Girl healed you a while ago." Despite the good news he told Midoriya, the boy stiffened in bed. Um, he, he saw green eyes flit around the infirmary, looking for something. Was he looking for Recovery Girl? She wasn't in the infirmary anymore, having to left do something somewhere else on campus. He saw how Midoriya was less tense when he didn't find Recovery Girl. "Hey, dude, how you feeling, right? Feeling? How are you feeling right now? Do you need water or something?" Kaminari asked, drawing Midoriya's attention to the boy. When Midoriya went to speak, but it was a rasp came out. Shota was impressed with the speed and grace that Kaminari had in getting up and serving his classmate water. Both Uraraka and Kaminari were rather protective, and they seemed that they would remain that way for a while. After drinking some water, Midoriya finally responded, "Yeah, just sore and tired. How bad was I hurt?" Um, Shota paused for a moment. Never had Midoriya asked about the injuries he sustained when he got hurt. Kaminari and Uraraka looked a little surprised at the question as well, so he made sure to answer as to as to not make Midoriya uncomfortable with the silence. You had a concussion, bruises, a cut in your mouth, burns, and smoke inhalation? Oh, that makes sense. I think I bit my inside of my cheek when Bakugo got me in the head. The smoke inhalation explains why I couldn't breathe. Midoriya let out a short, mirthless laugh. It didn't seem very funny at not being able to breathe with the explosions coming after me. Shota saw how Uraraka and Kaminari sent concerned looks at him while Midoriya still had his head down. He motioned for them to give him a moment alone with Midoriya, and he had received nods in response. Before they left, they went off to the side to give them some privacy. I'm sorry, Midoriya. Within less than a second, wide green eyes were staring at him. Wait, Sensei, why are you so... Shota cut him off before he could continue. I'm sorry, Midoriya. You shouldn't have you shouldn't have had this happen to you. Kaminari already told me how you weren't feeling well, but All Might still made you fight Bakugo. This wasn't your fault. It's All Might's. You were not in trouble. I don't plan on letting All Might give you criticism on a fight that you should never been a part of. Really? It's Shota's turn to look at Midoriya with wide eyes. The voice that came from Midoriya was so small and it looked on his face looked like hope. Why was that look on his student's face? Why did he seem so surprised? Why was there an uncomfortable twist in his gut as he looked at his injured student? Yes, Shota responded, and the man watched as Midoriya practically sank into the infirmary bed, letting out a shaky breath. The twisting in Shota's gut worsened. Shota stayed. Ooh, sorry. Shota stayed with Midoriya after he told Kaminari and Uraraka to go back to class. These two students didn't leave before giving Midoriya a hug, fussing over him some more. The green-haired boy laughed when Kaminari kissed his forehead while holding the boy's hand, while he had held the boy's face in his hands. Uraraka and take I'll take care of Bakugo if he ever does something again. So you don't have to worry. You're a pretty greenhead, he said Before walking away, Shota saw the fighting duo, as he now dubbed them, shared a fist bump before walking out of the infirmary. He'll make sure to keep an eye on those two when he gets back to class. Did they really punch Bakugo? Midoriya asked him. Yes. Kaminari electrocuted him for a few seconds. Aizawa saw the problem child smirk. Nice. I know since Gunhead that Uraraka has a brutal punch, and Kaminari had gotten better with his quirk. Can I ask you not to punish them? The hero let out a huff of amusement. I didn't plan to, kid. This happened during All Might's class, just say, so let's just say Bakugo needed to work on his self-defense um, against sudden attacks. Sounds good to me. It was an odd sharing a joke with as I was gonna say. The man didn't. The man always had a serious demeanor and tended to focus on what was logical. But he was, but here he was joking with Izuku. Izuku liked it. He liked how as I was gonna say wasn't looking at him like in disdain or annoyance. The teacher had obviously been pulled away from something to see Midoriya in the infirmary, but not once had he mentioned it or complained, but instead he asked how Midoriya was feeling and apologized. Izuku wasn't used to that. Midoriya, he said. Izuku was yet again surprised to see the concern in his teacher's eyes. What was going on before the match? The two told me you looked sick and leaning on Shoji. Ah, yes, that. Could Izuku just tell, as I was gonna say, that that it was his anxieties and it was getting so bad that he had an anxiety attack that made him feel like he was gonna throw up? Could he could he tell his teacher that it felt like he was going to pass out when he heard he was going to fight Bakugo and All Might said that that the matches were going to continue as planned? Could he tell him mm, could he tell him that he kept catching himself forgetting that he was in UA and thought he was back in middle school when he didn't have a quirk and didn't know how to fight back? Could he tell him that he wished he was laying on the bar floor looking up at Davi and Spinner instead of um in class with All Might? Um, Izuku looked at, as I was gonna say, dark eyes that had dark circles underneath his very own. The hero, already so tired, he looked like he was one missed drink coffee away from falling asleep. Could Izuku bring himself to put more on his Always plate? Was it worth it? Did it matter anymore? Izuku already dealt with these things on his own for so long, never having any friends him tell, telling them about his struggles, never confiding in teachers or adults. And never confiding in teachers and or adults he trusted. Not that he ever trusted any adult before. Okay, I will stop here for a minute because reasons, but I will be back. Don't worry. Took me like a whole night until I can record this again, but here we go. Let's continue. Do you really want to know? That was Midoriya. That that's what Midoriya asked instead. Oh my god. Do you really want to know? That's what Midoriya asked instead. Yes, Midoriya, I really want to know. As Owen said, you are one of my students, and despite my appearance, I do care. I don't like how you end up getting hurt. I don't like how you were unwell and unable to get help. Yes, I yes, I care, and yes, I want to know what's wrong. So it's not so it um, so that it doesn't happen again. Izuku couldn't help that small part of him believed his teacher's words. No one ever sounded like that. No no one ever looked at him like that. Like truly like they truly cared. and and wanted Izuku to tell them what's wrong. Like he wasn't a burden. Izuku couldn't say anything for a moment. He tried to come up with words but he tried to come up with the words what he would say. But when he opened his mouth to speak, the infirmary door opened, his mouth shut. His mouth snapped shut. Shota wanted to scream at whoever came into the infirmary, and he saw who it was, and he's sure that he activated he, he's sure his quirk activated on its own. Because right when Midori opened his mouth, right when he saw the boy's eyes finally having some light in them, in walked All Might with Nezu and Recovery Girl. Midoriya's mouth snapped shut, and the boy's face went blank, green eyes once again dull, causing Shota to clench his fist and glare at the new arrivals. But that glare quickly turned into wide eyes as All Might and the others came in. He was in his buff form, so when Shota's quirk activated, the man poofed into a smaller form. Um, his smaller and more skinny skeletal form, right in front of Midoriya. Fuck. When Shota looked at Midoriya, he expected wide eyes and a million questions. Instead, he was met with a blank face, so much tension in Midoriya's body that he looked like he was frozen, clenching his and hands clenched into his ruined hero costume he still had on. Ah, young Midoriya, you're awake. Recovery Girl told me that you've fallen asleep, and now I'm awake and I can discuss the match with you. All Might said, clearly not reading the atmosphere in the room. Certainly not noticing the quickening breath of the quickening breath rate of Midoriya. The oaf the oaf was oblivious to everything as he walked up to Midoriya and went to put his hand on the boy's shoulder. He never was able to though, as Shota shot his capture weapon, his capture scarf, to wrap around the Gunt arm and pulled it away from the student. As All as All Might asked Shota, as All Might asked Shota what was wrong, Shota looked at Nezu. Nezu, what's the meaning of this? He gritted out. Midoriya here is aware of All Might's smaller form, and he simply wanted to come by and see how Midoriya's was how Midoriya was faring after getting healed. Recovery Girl informed me of his injuries, and All Might um came to my office after you kindly told him I wanted to speak to him. Nizu chirped. Yes, I wanted to offer some criticism to the young Midori. Smash! The man's flinch when Shota's glare returned to him. You will do no such thing. Shota turned to Midoriya with softer eyes. Midoriya, you can go and change back into your uniform and return to class. I will talk to All Might and the others. Also, switch seats with someone else so you don't sit near Bakugo. Shota would rather another student go with Midoriya, but calling one of them to come here would take too long, and he wanted Midoriya to get out of there as soon as possible. Both Recovery Girl and All Might tried to reject, but Nezu cut them off. Yes, Midoriya, I think it's time to go back to class. I hope you feel better later on, and I apologize for what happened today, Nezu said with his per, per, perpetual perpe, pepe, ooh, words perpetual smile. With that, Midoriya got out of bed and slowly made his way out of the infirmary. Shota sent him a nod. Shota sent him a small nod. When the boy looked back at him, he noticed how Midoriya hadn't bothered to look at All Might once. The moment Midoriya was gone, Shota returned his glare to All Might. The man was clearly taken back. As he saw, Nezu clapped his paws together. Now, Nezu began, looking at the others in present company. I believe we have something to discuss. When Midoriya walked in, Class 1A went silent. Well, as silent as it could be, with Bakugo growling from behind his mouth taped shut. Also as students, also as silent as it could be from the red-eyed boy attempting to get out of his desk, which did not which did not look like it was going to happen anytime soon, due to the fact that Mineta had used his quirk to fix the floor chair fix the chair to the floor on all four legs, then fixed Bakugo to the chair. This was quite a surprise that the boy had so much energy to even after Recovery Girl had came back to heal him. So much to the displeasure of Kaminari and Uraka. Oh, Midoriya, Kaminari said, quickly quickly to break the tension in the air. Come over here. Kirishima is going to move over to Bakugo to try and calm him down anyways. They all saw the um green green eyes the look at Kirishima's seat, as Kirishima was indeed going to sit in Midoriya's seat behind Bakugo in an attempt to stop the boy from damaging school property. Midoriya didn't say anything at all, as he went to sit down behind Kaminari at Kirishima's seat, Kirishima's desk. Instead, he quickly put his head down and took out. No, I don't. Okay. Something popped up my computer, sorry. Instead, he had quickly put his head down and pulled out the blue marble. Kaminari felt disappointed that Midoriya was no longer smiling and anywhere seemed anywhere near as happy, or just not sad as he looked in the infirmary when he left him. Just what happened since Uraka and he left? All the other students of Class 1A did not know about the smile they missed. They could tell something was wrong, including the shadow-like creature that had helped Midoriya stand earlier that day. No one stopped Dark Shadow from making their way to Midoriya and resting their head in front of Midoriya's desk. Everyone watched as Midoriya stopped rolling the blue marble with his fingers and looked at Dark Shadow. Then Dark Shadow proceeded to burrow their head underneath Izuku's hand. The boy did not resist at all. At a moment later, Midoriya started running his hand along Dark Shadow's head. All the while, he had his own head resting on the desk. The whole time he did not want not oh my god. But the whole time he did not once did he smile. His eyes were still that dull green. I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm sorry, I messed up. I haven't warmed up my voice a little bit, but as I go on, it gets a little better in recording. I'm gonna try to record another one today. Since my sister's not here. Alright, bye. I hope you have an amazing time, and I hope you all enjoyed this fic. Please drink. Please get something to drink, eat, some sleep. And if you have this sinus mess or sick, I hope you get better. And that is all for today. I hope you all enjoyed. Bye.